Hello and welcome to our inspiration talk with Bridget from Cape Town. Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. Well, it's actually a bit cold at the moment because we're still in winter. And as I was explaining to you a little bit earlier, we have this thing called load shedding. And what that means is for 2 to maybe 2.5 hours every so often, in certain parts of Cape Town, they cut off the electricity.
Uh, okay.
So it's strange. It's a strange system. But I suppose like anything, just get used to it, right?
Yeah, okay. And so that's why we are flexible. And so we just did it a bit later than normal, but that's not a problem. So I
Yeah.
had also stuff like that in the last few minutes. So everything okay. But we will give you all who listen to that a nice inspiration for the weekend or for the week for next week. And we were thinking, talking about today, how to stay inspired. What makes you really feeling this kind of flow? And so what do you do to stay inspired?
Well, actually, it was brought to my attention that yesterday that I kind of think, oh, I'm someone who's just pretty much inspired. But as it was brought to my attention that no, you consciously, as in myself, I consciously do things like I do 10 minutes meditation. I listen to like a podcast on meditation. I read. I listen to motivational speakers. So I'm continuously, I do these. I do bi-weekly networking events on personal development. So I'm continuously putting myself in a position to be motivated and inspired. I don't think, and I could be wrong, and if I am, please tell me, but I don't think it's something that just, you wake up and just because you've got a roof over your head, you've got food in your stomach and you're healthy, you go, woohoo, I'm rocking it. Like, I just don't think that's how we are. I think we're so much more complicated than that, personally. And I think we need to find ways to get us inspired, to get us excited and motivated. What do you think? What do you do? What are your go-tos?
For me, is also the connection to people is a huge source of inspiration. I don't at the moment I don't listen too much to podcasts, but I do it normally a lot when I drive a lot. I listen to podcasts, but as well, for me is really to do something every day or to meet a person every day, yeah, to get inspired, just to talk to her. I can just say, even last week I was talking to my mom and she was talking to me about her childhood and her what she really liked in her childhood. And then I was thinking, okay, we are doing perhaps also a little film out of it, because I like to be connected to people. And this is special because it's my mom, but
Mm.
there's other things because as well here, like these trainers in my presenter school, they are all so interesting because they have a zigzag curriculum or vita. Yeah, it's amazing. So I try to just talk to them and see what makes them happy and what did they do in their life. Yeah, just for example, this radio guy here, he was for such a long time a radio guy, but then he stopped because he needed also inspiration to do something new. And he was just driving with the Deutsche Bahn, our railway station, and like the people who say where are you arriving or so are sometimes so badly as a formed, yeah. The voice is crazy. You think, also the English is another thing, but also like how they say it, that they are welcoming and so. And he just called them and said, I think you need a training. And now it's his most income source that he is training the German train presenters. Yeah. So how crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of that ties into finding your purpose in a sense, because I think when you are living your life with purpose, then I think it's much more inspiring than when you are just waking up, going to work, getting paid, because
Yeah.
it becomes so robotic and so
Yeah.
continuously boring. But if there's a purpose and there's a bigger picture, um, and planning and things to look forward to and goal setting, and I mean, even with this bi-weekly networking event, there's days when I, because it's every 2 weeks, you know, and there's certain days where I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like this. But every single time afterwards, it's only half an hour. And every time afterwards, I go, wow, that was pretty awesome. And it was awesome because I got to connect with a group of people. I learned from them. I engaged with them. We're building a community. It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, that's very inspiring for me.
Yeah, and as well, I think it's also good to get conscious about whom did you meet every day and who did you inspire and who inspired you. And sometimes you don't realize it, but it was just a thought sometimes, or something what he said. As for me, connection to the people is it's a big thing. But as well, I know that because you said finding your purpose, that when you really feel in flow, then you are also inspired all the time. So if everything falls in place because you think you see it's possible what you do, and that you create things, then it comes to a flow that is, yeah, that's amazing. No? And I think there are also like 3 points what I heard from different podcasts as well. If you feel, if you have your purpose, that you get your purpose when you find like you find a purpose, so that you are inspired by that, then you connect to people, and as well that you help people as well. Sometimes you do something for someone else, and that's why as well so many people find also their purpose in social projects. That's another thing, but this is you do something for someone and it makes sense for you, no?
And yeah, and I think the big thing with that is taking the action, you know, because nothing, and I mean, I know this sounds so obvious, but nothing ever happens without that first step. So you have to take that first step and go, yes, that was the right one and that was the wrong one. And there has to be that. It doesn't happen just because you wish it or hope it or think about it or write about it. You actually have to be in action as well, because there has to be a lot of failures and a lot of challenges in order to figure out the next part, right?
That's also a big point, to accept and also to allow yourself to have a failure, because you start something, it perhaps doesn't work, but if you don't have this failure, you can't adjust it your way or your project or whatever. And this was for me a big thing in personal growth, that because I had such a fear to fail, because then you think, hey, where's the sense or where's the purpose when you just take a sabbatical like me, or you take another year off because you want to develop yourself, and then there's nothing because it doesn't work, and you think, oh, it's such a bad feeling. But if you allow yourself to say, okay, but what did happen? You're still alive, you still have food, you still have a roof over your head, yeah, and then you can say, okay, I go forward, yeah, and do it differently.
It's also, you know, people want the perfect marriage, but they're not prepared to weather the storm. People want to be, you know, they want to look good, but they're not prepared to go to the gym or run or whatever the case is. So they want to get to the highest mountain, but they're not prepared to put the work in. And part of that is you've got to put the work in. Whatever it is you want, you have to be willing to put the work in, and to stay committed to that in order to get what it is you want in the long term.
Yeah, and what you just said as well, what's also, I think, for inspiration very important is to take time where you have your me time, where you can think or feel or so, because inspiration doesn't come just like, also not like change. It doesn't come if you wait and then please change or inspiration come, it doesn't work. Yeah, but it works better if you have a free time and you're not just stressed all the time. Yeah, this is another thing. Great. Thank you so much. This was so inspiring. I love these talks every week. So I hope you, as you are watching it, you are also so inspired, and that you can bring forward your project and whatever you have in your life. And we wish you a wonderful day. Thank you to Cape Town.
Bye.